What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another Art of War stream. Happy Monday. Games Workshop, the GW Fairy, has left something under our pillows this fine morning.
That's right, they've left all of the Space Marine indexes. What are these? I didn't ask for the... Yes, I did.
Yeah. Well, it was really fun because, all weekend long, everyone was talking about Tyranids and Space Marines because those were the only two indexes out. And now, on this fine Monday morning, Games Workshop has seen fit to give us more Space Marines.
More Space Marines. Also,
Absolutely.
The Space Marines everyone wants. Does everyone want, the generic Marines? Does people want to take Con? No. Do people want to take Ultramarines? Maybe.
Also, yes.
But do people want to take Blood Angels? Yes, they do, and we're here for you.
All right, Blood Angel Jack.
Blood Angel Jack. It's been, flip over the
go.
sign. It's been 0 days since I showed off the Blood Angel tattoo. Let's go.
All right. So Games Workshop has dropped all 5 specialist chapters on their website as indexes. Now, we're going to be going through these one at a time in different videos. So, if you super chat us a Dark Angel question, we'll answer it, of course, because we love you all. But this is a Blood Angel video. And if you are watching this thinking, boy howdy, I sure do wish they would talk about Space Wolves or Death Watch or Black Templars or Jack Templars. Those are all coming later today. We're just doing these videos one at a time. Blood Angels is the first one because you know what? They've earned it. They've been good boys.
They're the best boys.
Yeah, plus, it's we don't want to do Blood Angels when the sun's up. Then they don't really respond well to that.
They don't like that. No, Blood Angels are sweet. They're my favorite army, obviously, and looking forward to getting into them.
Absolutely. So, if you like this video, make sure you like this video. And, of course, if you subscribe to the channel, you'll get notified when we go live with all of the other chapters, which will be happening later today. And, you know what? If GW is releasing rules on a Monday, it's not a bad bet that they're going to give us something on a Tuesday. And we'll be live then, too. So, subscribe. Check out the link in the description below to get access to the worm. And we've got a lot of 10th edition coming your way. Ready?
Yeah, I very much am. Let's get into these Blood Angels.
Blangles.
All right, so if you decide to take the Blood Angels, the Sons of Sanguinius detachment rule, then what you get is you get to hit hard. You get +1 strength and attacks if you make a charge. Old Furious charge.
Got it. So if you make a charge,
If
not
you
if
make a
they
charge.
charge you.
No, which
I'm okay with that.
is fine. It is fine. You still hit pretty hard off the charge, but on the charge, it's like nobody lives.
Yeah. Honestly, I really like that they actually went, dug back into 7th edition and found the Furious Charge rules.
Yeah, basically. A lot of Blood Angels rules trigger on the charge, but in my mind, I believe they still hit hard enough outside of a charge that it's not a crippling thing. It's just, hey, you better watch out, because if you get charged by Blood Angels, it's game over, man.
Yeah, +1 strength and attack. It's a good start.
It's a great start, for sure. +1 attack is a great
Is it only after your Warlord kills someone with a bull pistol?
You'd be surprised. No, that's the Space Wolves video you're thinking of.
Oh,
if you look, this guy's a Blood Angel.
Oh, yeah.
and he gets to do what he wants.
Cool, all 5 turns. Good, just check.
Yeah. It makes your units hit ridiculously hard. Just before we get past this, Blade Guard, for example, 4 attacks at strength 5, they're a good unit. But on the charge, 5 attacks at strength 6 is a fundamentally different level of damage. And I'm here for it, baby. Let's go.
All right, I like it.
All right. So first up, we got our stratagems. We got Angel Sacrifice.
Oh, it's back.
It is back. It is very different. It used to be... I think it's still quite good, though. It's just a completely different strat. It used to be one of the best fight control tools around, where you force them to fight your characters. No longer that. Any phase when a character unit from your army is killed, for the rest of the battle, you reroll hits against that target in shooting and melee.
That is quite nice still.
Yeah.
So just get some... Look, reroll hits anytime you can get it. Never a bad thing.
Yes. John McCardell is 100% right. Now it is ABC, always be charging. All right.
Like
Aggressive Onslaught, 1 CP. Just before your unit consolidates, they consolidate 6 inches instead of 3. But they have to end within range of an enemy unit.
Okay, so you couldn't use this to 6-inch consolidate onto an objective, but you could use it to 6-inch consolidate into a unit.
Correct.
So you're just better at tagging people if you want.
Yeah.
That's useful.
I don't think it's going to come up a lot, but it'll come up occasionally. It'll come up more often than you think. All right. Armor of Contempt. It's a straight port from Space Marines, and it is one of the better stratagems in the game.
Yeah, it's nice to see that Armor of Contempt has been working its way through multiple chapters here, because spoiler alert for other chapters, a lot of them get this.
And Armor of Contempt is very strong.
Yes. Yeah, I'm glad it's a strat now instead of just there, but it's still a very good stratagem to have access to.
The fact that AP has gone down across the board, basically, like, as we'll see, Sanguinary Guard or AP2, it means that Armor of Contempt is that much better, because armor saves have not gone down. They've gone up, if anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Red Rampage. So you pick a unit from your army that has not fought yet, and they get lance and lethal hits.
Okay. So this looks very similar to the Space Marine stratagem that gives you lance, but this one gives you lethal hits instead of +1 AP sometimes.
Yes. +1 AP is if you're in Assault Doctrine.
Yeah, it's +1 AP if in Assault Doctrine.
Yeah, so this is better on average, but that one's better specifically.
1 turn, probably.
But even so, on the charge, I'd still rather be Blood Angels because you get that +1 attack.
Exactly, you get a bunch of other things. So another really good stratagem here.
Very good, especially good when you need to kill vehicles, because then you get +1 to wound and lethal hits.
That'll really help.
And you put away vehicles quite quickly.
Especially if you're rerolling hits.
Especially if you're rerolling hits, which this army loves to do. Alright, now going into some other bangers. We got Only in Death Does Duty End, a direct port from Space Marines.
Oh.
And just as good here as there. In fact, probably better.
Fight on Death?
Fight on Death, it's very good. It's also very good on Death Company. We'll get to that. It's incredible on Death Company. But yes, 2 CP, your unit fights on death.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. And then finally, something Blood Angels did not have access to outside of the Sanguinor. 1 CP, you can fall back and charge.
That's actually, like, I
That's
know it doesn't
legitimately
come
very
up
good.
often, but, like, boy, when it came up, was that annoying as heck.
Yeah, one of the ways to beat Blood Angels, weirdly enough, was to tie them in combat, because they couldn't fall back and do anything. And past the first turn, they lost +2 attacks and +1 to wound.
Yeah, it was if you ever found the magical recipe.
Yeah, it was rough. And also, sometimes, yeah, it was just something that was really, really annoying for Blood Angel players at the highest levels. People would just try and tag you sometimes. Mm-hmm. Or if you didn't kill a target, something on the following turn, you're bad.
Yeah, I would, actually rather consolidate into a Blood Angel unit than sit in front of it.
Yeah, because then they're
good. Fine in combat, but they're not crazy.
But 1 CP fallback and charge is probably something that will come up every game.
Yeah, that's also just very good to have access to. Is don't even try this, man.
Yeah.
You're not actually
you're not as good on the charge, so I guess I will charge you to tie you up, and then you're like, all right, well, I can just fall back and charge. Don't try that.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, so a good suite of stratagems, a little more specialized than the Space Marines, as you'd expect for the Charge You chapter.
Yeah, I think it has everything a combat army needs, really. Mm-hmm. Outside of, Advanced in Charge, but that's never really been Blood Angel's bag.
Well, if you want Advanced in Charge,
you take the Gladius.
There's a Gladius for that.
Yes. There's also a character for it.
Mm-hmm.
So, big fan of the fight control that's in this right now.
I like it.
The fight on death, the fallback and charge, etc. So let's talk about some enhancements. Okay, so we don't know the points cost on these.
Nope.
But we can just analyze what they do. So first up, Artisan of War is +1 AP to all the bear's weapons, including shooting weapons.
Well, that is useful.
Yeah. I didn't even realize that until right now. Mm-hmm. And then the bear gets a save characteristic of 2+.
Okay, so that's just generically this guy's just a little better at everything.
Yes.
I'm good with that.
I'm here for that.
Hopefully that's not a terribly expensive one, but it just looks good value. It's not a build a thing around. It's I have, I don't know, I'm actually not how many points this thing is. 20 points. Oh, it's 20 points. Cool, I'll put it in. Whatever it is.
Yeah, if it's 10 or something, and it's an auto include.
If it's 50, no. Or 100.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a price point.
But that seems pretty good.
Yeah. Visage of Death, while an enemy units except monsters and vehicles within engage range of the bear's unit have their OC.
Well, that's really good.
That's pretty dang good.
I like that a lot.
Yes. Big fan of just shutting down OC as much as possible. So, if you're engagement range, no, you don't get to hold this objective.
Mm-hmm. Okay, right. Yeah, that's just really good.
I like it. Yeah, just objective control because, OBSEC, Sanguinary Guard.
Yeah, you can also just, consolidate into a person after you're done and be like, boop, half your OC.
Yep. No, you don't hold this objective.
Since enemy unit have the objective control models in that unit. So that's only useful into enemies that are OC 2 or higher. If they're OC 1, I assume OC 0.5 isn't real. We haven't really...
I mean, there's no reason why it couldn't be, right?
There is no reason why it couldn't be. It just doesn't make my brain happy, so I'm assuming it's not real.
Yeah. I mean, unlike strength... Actually, strength would work in 0.5s too. That's kind of weird.
I'm just assuming everything's going to be a multiple of 1 by the end of this.
I would have to assume have it to probably rounding up. That's always how they've done those sort of things. It depends on, all these depend on how expensive they are. But this is a very strong ability.
Yeah, that's one that I like the idea of.
Yeah, especially if you get like a big unit tagging multiple things and you just take all your opponent's objectives away. Yeah.
Well, I think I really like it on like, and we'll see how often this comes up, like a character leading an OC1 combat unit that can go hit something, consolidate into a troop, and say, I know you thought you would outnumber me with like 5 intercessors, but as a matter of fact, you don't.
Yes. Yes. One thing to note about Artisan of War, by the way, is that there might be some particular characters in Blood Angels that you really need to keep alive. So that might be a really good place to put it. We'll talk about them when we get to Death Company. Okay. Archangel Shard. The bearer has Lance and Anti-Chaos 5+.
Good.
Yes. Yes. You want to run this with a Thunder Hammer. So that against Chaos, you just trigger your devastating wounds on 5s.
And then into vehicles like, because, Thunder Hammers are usually strength 8, right?
Right, so strength 9 on the charge.
Yeah, but then Lance helps a lot.
Yes.
Because you're going to wound every vehicle on a 4+ minimum, and then like a Rhino on like a 3 up.
Yes.
Which is like almost back to where things were. Almost back to the old ways.
Yeah, big fan of Archangel Shard. If it's cheap, if it's like 20+ points, probably not where we want to go.
Until demons are broken.
Until demons are broken, in which case...
Until Bellicor is on every table, at which point, pop off.
Pop off, King. Icon of the Angel. Every time an enemy unit within engagement range falls back, they all must take Desperate Escape tests, as if their unit was battle shocked. And when doing so, if they're also battle shocked, -1 to those Desperate Escapes.
That's pretty good.
Maybe you could battle shock them with Dante. Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Isn't that kind of cool?
Like just telling people like if you fall back, this is gonna hurt. I do like that a lot.
Yeah. Now the thing I will say about these is I don't think there's any build arounds in here.
Yeah, none of this is so crazy that I have to have it.
None of this is like Bolter Discipline, right?
Yeah, boy, what an enhancement, right?
Right. None of it's like Wrath of Baal from the previous book, where the +2 move or something. Nothing builds around. Nothing really buffs your army as a whole. Just they're going to be cost-appropriate upgrades to characters, and we'll see where they're at.
4 useful things that I would like to have.
Because, like, I'll be honest, I'm going to buy Bolter Discipline if it's 50 points.
Yeah, wow, there isn't a point. I mean, like, sure, that if it's 150 points, I won't buy it, but, like, it's hard to imagine a point cost for Bolter Discipline that would make me not buy it.
Exactly. Whereas these are very heavily dependent on points, but they have good effects.
Yeah, all of these are like, oh, this is nice to have.
All right. Okay. So another great Blood Angel
that's the detachment.
That's the detachment.
So,
and when Blood Angels come out as their own separate thing, we're going to have a bunch of detachments to choose from, and I'm going to be very excited for that.
Absolutely. So that is a detachment, is theoretically the alternative to the Gladius if you want to. Now, you do have the option to take the Gladius, but this is all pretty good thematic Blood Angel stuff.
Yeah.
Like you do want your Blood Angels to be guys that hit harder on the charge because that's what you're doing.
And
NBCs.
Blood Angels hit
hard.
Very hard on the charge.
Yeah.
Like, you do not want to just tank a charge from these guys.
That's true.
You probably just can't tank the charge, to be honest with you.
I'll find someone.
And also, if you charge someone who fights first, and you fight on death, you still get your charge bonuses.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so that's a good way to deal with armies that have a lot of fights first, I think. But let's get into... Let's make him small boy.
All right.
There we go.
Astrath is a small boy.
Astrath the Grim. Astropath, as I call him.
Astropath.
Yes.
Why? All right. So Astrath looks like he's basically a jump pack chaplain. What are his 2 rules? I can't.
So I really liked Astrath in 9th. I played him a bunch towards the end of the edition. His rules are his unit fights on death on a 4+.
Okay.
So the models in the unit fight on death on a 4+. It's fine. It's I guess if you're like in a big unit, that's not bad. And then, once per battle, when this model's unit makes a charge move, you can use this ability. When it does, you get dev wounds.
Ooh.
And he can join Death Company with jump packs.
Ooh, that's his only thing he can join?
Yes.
I mean, that makes sense, honestly. Like, who else would he hang out with? Okay, that
hurts.
That is pretty good.
That's pretty spicy. That is very spicy, especially if you Oath of Moment the target, you just Thanos snap them out of existence.
His melee is quite good, but not insane.
4 attacks is a little bit mediocre.
But then he's Blood Angel, so he'll go to 5 when he charges.
Yeah, but most of the Blood Angels are like 5 or 6 attacks go to 7.
That's fair. Well, he's busy. It's a 2-handed axe.
Yes.
He's stunking around the Devlins.
Yeah, big fan of this guy. depends on his points cost, because he's largely there as a once-a-game Thanos snapping a unit out of existence.
Just dev wounds. Bang.
He is also a chaplain, and I'll explain right now why chaplain is going to be very important. Death Company look great. Depends on their points cost, obviously, but they look great.
Yeah.
Death Company become a lot worse if there isn't a chaplain within 12 inches of them. And so you want a couple chaplains in your list if you're doing that.
If you're taking Death Company.
If you're taking Death Company. And
Okay.
I think you probably will. So Asterath gets a lot of value out of that as well.
All right.
So,
Seems good.
big fan of that guy. He can join Death Company with jump packs. He's pretty cool.
Ball Predator. It's my favorite.
Why are they doing this order? What's going on here?
Obviously.
Okay.
Is it
it's
alphabetical?
alphabetical.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so dumb. All right, Ball Predator. Woo!
Okay.
Ball Predator moves 12, has toughness 10. I believe it's a Predator. 11 wounds with a 3-up save. And it can get choice of 2 different main guns. The Twin Assault Cannon, which is 6 shots, dev wounds twin linked. A little not the best. I would rather it had 12 shots than you could use Oath.
Yeah. Yeah, that's been a common problem of mine reading Space Marine units. Like, oh.
Why is it twin? Oh.
Yeah, like I already rerolled wounds.
But the Ball Flamestorm Cannon, for my money, is what you're going to go with.
Okay.
It is very spicy. It's a Flamestorm Cannon off of a Redeemer, which is a very good gun.
But it's range.
18. But the Redeemer's also 18.
Redeemer's 18?
I think so.
Man, I thought
Yeah.
it was 12.
I was pretty sure it's 18, but
We can check some later.
yeah. But the Ball Flamestorm Cannon is 18 d6 plus 3 at 622. Auto hit, ignores cover. This thing is a very credible threat to overwatching you. It also gets 2 heavy flamers or 2 heavy bolters of your choice, and a hunter killer and a storm bolter. Depends on. I mean,
you're
everything is going to be depends on points cost.
Yeah.
But this is a very
That's an
good
appealing
anti-infantry alternative.
An appealing profile on a Predator for the first time in a while.
Yes.
Like, we usually haven't gotten to the question of points because, like, I don't really want this. I don't care how many points it is unless it's, like, Omega cheap.
Yeah, unless it's like 50 points, like a joke cheap.
Sure.
This is actually a decent platform.
Yeah.
And it rerolls advances and gets assault on its guns when it targets infantry units.
Okay. That is kind of weird, but that is funny.
Yep, so it's an anti-infantry piece through and through.
I like it.
Yeah, so I like it. As long as you need anti-infantry, you have something to go for, and every Blood Angel player should have a Ball Predator.
Like, should own one?
Should own one. Not me. I'm working on it.
I didn't want to say it, but I was thinking out. I was like, dude.
All right, we have a $5 super chat from CAK. Blood Angels and Dark Angels look more resilient than Death Guard. Sad times. Happy times for Blood Angels and Dark Angels, though.
Hopefully we see Death Guard later this week.
Oh, the Redeemer is only 12-inch range.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I
was like, 18
This is quite
significant.
good. This is quite good. All right.
Yeah.
It's playing this weekend as 18.
It's 12.
Quentin shot
That's
me.
18.
Quentin shot me real good. All right. So yeah, this is just a very good Overwatch piece. I love this thing.
Yeah, that as long as it's not criminally costed, that looks really solid. Okay, cool.
All right. Brother Corbulo.
Brother Corbulo.
Yep. So, Brother Corbulo has Heaven's Teeth, which is a chainsword-ish.
It's strength 5.
Strength 5.
And sustained
And sustained hits 1.
It is better than a chainsword.
It is better than chainsword. We'll get to a chainsword in a bit on Sanguinary Priests. But Brother Corbulo, with Heaven's Teeth, he hits 8. He doesn't hit great. He hits 8. Yeah. But models in his unit get Feel No Pain 5+, same as the Sanguinary Priest. We'll get to that. And then Red Grail gives +1 attacks to his unit.
That is very solid.
His buff slams.
Who can he lead?
He can lead Van Vets on foot, Tacticals, Devastators, and Assault Marines on foot.
Clearly we know which of those we want. It's not the Devs or Tactical Squads.
It's the Van Vet on foot or the Assault Squad on foot.
I could justify a foot Assault Squad with
+2 attacks, +1 strength on the charge is scary.
That starts to add up.
That starts to add up quite a lot. But let's get to the shocking star of the show. Does
he have 2 profiles or 1?
He has 2. I think the Death Company one is better. I believe it is.
Tycho.
Tycho. What a stupid little short little squat.
He's a short king.
He is a short king. He is surprisingly good now.
He's honestly the size of a Watcher in the Dark at this point.
He is. He's tiny.
Yeah.
He came out like before the year 2000
I think he came
or
out
something.
before. He might be older than me.
Yeah.
Like, I think that model's older than
He's an old dude.
He's like 30 years old.
All right. So whenever he leads a unit, whenever that unit is selected to shoot, Select one of the following abilities: assault, heavy, or rapid fire, and it gives it to the unit. And then the first time, this is the most fun. This is the second funniest rule in the book, in the index.
Okay.
The first time an attack is allocated to this model, after it's finished making its attacks, until the end of the battle, change the attack's characteristic to 12 of his combat weapon.
Let me read that.
First time an attack is allocated to this model, Captain Tycho, after they've finished making their attacks, his dead man's hand goes to 12 attacks.
Why?
That rule will almost never come
So you
up.
have to allocate to Tycho, but not kill him.
Yes, he does have a 2-up save.
Okay, and we already know that you can't choose to allocate just like one chainsword attack to Tycho if the opponent's not hitting with precision or has killed all his friends.
I will say, snipers shooting at him, you put him in cover, you pop Armor of Contempt, and it's like, do you want to try?
I mean,
Do you want to try?
But like, why would I kill Tycho? He's not doing anything.
He gives his unit...
Rapid fire 1. Can you, who can he join? Can I get him in a death squad?
Van Vet's Tax, Command, and Assault. Wow, that is... Captain Tycho the Lost is the good one, for the record.
Okay.
Tycho
that's
the...
Tycho the Lost, which you can tell because he's all the way down with the T's, not with the C's.
Oh,
He's not Captain Tycho. He's Tycho.
he's not. Well, he's not captain anymore.
He's not.
His gun is quite good though. 2 shots, hits on a 2, anti-infantry 4+, dev wounds, melt a 2.
What the heck?
It's damage.
It's a combi.
It's a combi melta, and so it is damage 4 at 12 inches, and he gives himself rapid fire 1, so he has 3 shots at 12, at damage 4, anti-infantry 4+, dev wounds.
Sure.
Like his shooting is like legitimately good.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you putting him in? Tax
Not
squad?
units that exist, but don't worry, Tycho the Lost held on to that gun.
There we go. All right. We do have another super chat here. Zinth25 with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Zinth. Can't wait for the Death Watch video later. Just ran through the index. There's some stuff that looks fun as hell, but I'm too smooth-brained to tell what's actually crazy good or not. Zinth25, fear not. There is a Death Watch video coming later today. I will be on it. I am just as excited for Death Watch as you. Possibly, I don't want to go too far, but possibly even more, because I am very excited about Death Watch.
He is big excited.
I am big excited about Death Watch. So
this much.
The camera frame doesn't quite scale.
I'm holding my arms up right now.
It's about that much.
Oh, it's like that much. It's
right.
onto John's camera now.
There you go. So we'll be doing a Death Watch video later today. Stay tuned for that. I'm extremely excited. I will talk about my favorite combos.
But
Yeah,
let's combo Chief Librarian Mephiston with your
do it.
face. I'm insisting on it.
Okay.
All right. So Mephiston has a lot of rules.
Yeah, it's a 5 Feel No Pain.
He has a 5-up Feel No Pain, which
him.
he had before, I believe. Yeah, he had a Feel No Pain before.
Probably.
Who cares? He's toughness 5 with a 2-up save, 6 wounds, 5-up Feel No Pain. He's legitimately quite tanky.
Mm-hmm.
He moves 7, which can help. Let's see what he can attach to first. Stern Guard, Intercessors, and Assault Intercessors. Assault Intercessors do hit quite hard.
Okay, so I'm sorry, what is Quicken?
Quickening is his unit fights first.
Oh, okay, wow. All right, that's good.
His unit gets a 4-up Feel No Pain against psychic attacks because he's a librarian.
Good, yep.
And then at the start of the fight phase, you pick an enemy unit with engagement range, and you roll a d6. On a 1, he takes d3 mortal wounds. That's a common theme. On a 2 through a 5, worsen the weapon skill characteristic of melee weapons equipped by models in that unit by 1. On a 6, worsen their attacks and weapon skill by 1.
Ooh.
And you fight first.
Oof.
Yeah. Now, he has a couple shooting attacks. One is a plasma pistol, and the other one is Fury of the Ancients, which is 3 shots. I mean, you're going to overcharge almost every time, I would assume, unless he's very low, because he has sustained hits 3 on his turbo profile.
Oh, man. Why does he have that?
Yeah. So he has sustained hits 1 on his normal profile, and it's AP 1. Mm-hmm. He has sustained hits 3 on his big profile, and it's AP 2 and Strength 5. So big fan of that. And then in combat, he hits really hard as well. He has 6 attacks, goes to 7. Hits on 2s, Strength 9 goes to 10. AP 3 damage, D3.
That's a good break point right there.
Yeah, it's a real good break point.
D3 damage is back, and I don't love that fact, but still that is a good profile.
Yep. And he goes before you.
Yeah,
because he fights first.
Yeah, unless he charges someone who fights first.
So wild.
But if he gets charged by someone who fights first, then he goes first.
Yeah, so he's a decent shooting piece. He's pretty tanky. He hits kind of hard, and his unit gets fight first. So he really probably just goes in Assault Intercessors and tries to be like budget Blade Guard.
Yeah, because you... well, honestly, because I'm
Judy?
pretty sure that the way that it works is that he gets all the rules of his unit.
Yeah, so he would reroll wounds.
Yeah, reroll wounds on objectives.
Yeah, that's when he hits really hard.
That...
If you want to see someone who hits really hard, look no further than Commander Dante.
Okay.
Woo! 6 wounds. With toughness 4 and a 2-up. 6 wounds actually quite a lot in this edition. Moose 12 has an OC of 1 somehow. He's not interested in objectives, he's interested in killing you. He has a very funny Melta pistol, which is damage D6 Melta, so not D3, and sustained hits D3. So if you roll that 6, it's just, I'm sorry, you've ceased existing.
The funniest Overwatch in the West.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, look at that. Get wrecked. The Axe Mortalis goes to 9 attacks at strength 8, AP 3, damage 2 with lethal hits on the charge.
Okay.
And
I respect that.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
And then when he's leading a unit, +1 charge and +1 to hit. So he will hit on a 2 even through -1.
Yep.
And then at the start of the fight phase, every enemy unit within 6 inches of the model must take a battle shock test -1.
-1 is pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can battle shock a lot of people to be like, stop using stratagems. Bang.
Stop using strats. Stop holding objectives. Because holding objectives at the end of your turn is also a big thing.
Yep. In some of these missions, like the tactical, the drawing a card mission. I don't know. Is it tactical?
It's tactical when you draw cards.
Yeah, drawing card mission.
Yeah.
That looks very useful.
It's just annoying to go into Dante. He's just like, and half of you guys lose OC.
It is true, because it is the start of the fight phase. It doesn't hinge on him charging, so if you charge Dante, he might be like, but you don't get your strats.
Or if he charges you, you might not get to fight on death. Or you might not get to fight first. Like,
I'm also imagining if you charge Dante, and he's like, even if you kill me, your OC 0, so you're not actually going to get your mission secondary.
yes.
Yeah. Okay. Dante has some legs.
He's pretty good. He doesn't use them. He uses a jump pack. Yeah, he's pretty cool. He's pretty cool. He's also the only thing that can join Sanguinary Guard.
Sanguinary Priest? Alright, fair enough.
No.
I guess the Ancient's part of the profile now.
Yeah, the Ancient is
I was about to say,
of-
like, surely the Sanguinary Ancient.
No, but the Dante's the only thing that can join Sanguinary Guard, so there is a reason to take him because, this is the funniest profile. All right, before we get to the Death Company Dreadnought, which is my favorite unit in the book on sheer hilarity.
Okay.
Dante, your Sanguinary Guard do want a character to join them, so that is why Dante would be there. He also gives them +1 hit, +1 charge, which is also quite
great.
Yeah. Death Company Dreadnought has
Moves 8.
Moves 8 and is +2 to charge monsters' vehicles if you take a Magnet Grapple.
Okay.
So he's a decent reserve charge threat against vehicle armies, and he moves 8 and he has a Feel No Pain 6+. So he's harder to kill than your average Dread.
Oh yeah. That's nice.
And then, actually, I think Sanguinary Guard might be able to have a captain join them. I forget. We'll get there when we get there. But he has the funniest rule in the game. Let's not mince words. When each time an enemy unit targets this model, after that unit has finished making its attacks, this model can either shoot as if it was the shooting phase or fight as if it was the fight phase.
I know which one I want.
Yeah. So he doesn't he doesn't hit hard. He hits very hard.
Yeah.
Black Rage, which is very common to all Death Company units, is you reroll hits straight up. You just always reroll hits. Not on the charge, not off the charge. You just reroll hits in shooting combat. But it has a downside.
Yeah.
If you're not within 12 inches of a chaplain, you cannot fall back and your OC is 0.
Yeah. So you reroll the hit roll. Okay, but got it.
Yes.
So it rerolls all hits all the time.
All hits all the time,
Okay.
and his melee rerolls all wounds all the time because it's twin linked.
Yeah.
So on the charge, he has 6 attacks of strength 13, AP 3, damage 3. I think that's the one I would probably want to take.
He would be like a really good reserve blender.
Yeah.
Like-
Because here's what happens to an army. He basically always fights twice if you run into a unit that can't kill you.
Yeah.
Because you run in, you hit them, they hit you, you hit them back. And vehicles have a combat profile.
Hold on. Each time, so it's each time.
Yeah.
So
this
like, if
can
you
happen
tag-
as many times in a turn as you can engineer. And because he fights, he can consolidate into new units.
Can he consolidate 6 inches and go tag like 3 things?
Yes.
That's like...
But also, let's see what happens. Let's discuss a scenario that is not likely to happen, but more likely to happen than you would expect.
Mm-hmm.
He charges a vehicle.
Yes.
He has +2 to charge, so he goes yard on it. He goes deep. you trigger 6-inch consolidate and +1 to wound for that fight phase for him on the charge.
So he blends the vehicle.
He hits the vehicle. If he doesn't kill it, the vehicle hits him back and barely scratches the paint. He doesn't care. He's mad. He kills it. He then consolidates into a different vehicle. That vehicle hits him. He kills it. He consolidates into a new vehicle. That vehicle hits him. He kills it. Repeat until you run into a vehicle you cannot kill. And an AP3 with 6 attacks on the charge.
So I just have to keep all my Rust 10 inches away from each other, and you can't do that.
Yes. I don't know. You might only be able to consolidate, we're on page 19. You might only be able to consolidate one time at 6 inches, but if I need to bridge a gap, I will. No, until the end of the phase each time you make a consolidation move. So, like, legitimately, from reserves, that thing can kill an entire knight army.
Okay, shouldn't, but like, yeah, no, I see your point.
Yeah, because he's strength 13 with +1 to wound and 6 attacks, rerolls hits, rerolls wounds.
Oh, jeez.
So
I'm gonna kill him eventually.
I completely forgot when I was theorizing this before that you get a 6-inch consolidate for every single time.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
But at bare minimum, does he consolidate? Yes, he fights as if it was your fight phase, and that means you consolidate.
Yeah, he doesn't just make attacks; he fights. So
he
piles
fights.
in.
He piles in.
He does have to base at the earliest opportunity, so if he ever doesn't kill something, he's not really moving any further.
He's stuck there.
But then if he kills it before his next consolidate move because it accidentally hit him with a tank tread, then he would then get a 6-inch consolidate. So if he's within 7, he could go find a new friend.
Yes, and he will kill a rhino basically every single time.
Yeah, it does seem very likely.
And on the charge, he has 6 attacks, rerolling hits, rerolling wounds with +1 to wound.
Yeah, and you're taking the Furiosa Fist, right?
Yes.
I feel like
because this guy kills vehicles very well.
Yeah, he's +2 to charge monster vehicles. That's what you want him for.
Yes. And he just goes bang into the next, bang into the next, bang into the next.
So what I'm hearing is that he needs to fight one extra time a phase, not as many times as he gets tapped by a tank tread.
I think that he is... I think that scenario is okay to leave in the game because it is so unlikely to happen.
Yeah, I think it's not.
You think it's not?
Yeah, because look, if it never happens, it's okay that it's capped at once.
That's true.
And if it does happen, someone is very upset and goes and buys War Machine. I'm so sorry, but like, right? Like, if you round one of your GT, play against an unsuspecting knight player, and kill 7 armigers in your fight phase.
With one model.
With one
very angry
Death
model.
Company Dreadnought, which, like, we don't know how much this thing's going to cost, but it's 8 wounds. It's not going to cost the sun.
Yeah.
Like, if you just kill an army with that...
I mean, you can also show up from reserves and make a +2 charge in.
Exactly.
So, like... Yeah, I get it. I mean,
if it never comes up, it's okay to get one.
As soon as there's an invuln, or as soon as you roll a little bad and you don't kill a vehicle, then fine.
No.
But it is very funny.
It is very funny, and it's hilarious, and I hope you do it to Nick on camera.
I will do it to Nick on camera. I 100% will.
But there's no scenario where a Dreadnought needs to... like, fighting twice, I'm okay with it being a fun, silly, rare rule. Fighting thrice? Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Not to spoil the lead, but Murderfang has the same rule. But he moves 6. Actually, he hits harder than the Death Company Dread, but he moves 6.
Yeah.
And he doesn't consolidate 6.
Better, but, like, still no.
Yeah. This thing's incredibly funny. And Grotworks, he rerolls to hit on his data sheet. He just always rerolls hits.
And his weapons are twin linked.
So
that's pretty,
Oh, no unit can fight more than once in the fight phase, according to the 10th edition core rules.
Well, then his rule doesn't exist. That's funny.
Okay, his rule doesn't do anything.
Nice.
Sweet.
Good job, GW. I'm glad that they really...
Wait a minute, so his rule literally doesn't do anything?
Yes. They lets him shoot. Oh. Good old... it is a free interrupt if someone doesn't kill you.
It does say it's. I don't know. We'll need an FAQ on it.
The GW. All right.
Because
anyways,
if they say it can't fight more than once in the fight phase, then that rule literally gets deleted. Like it doesn't.
Yeah,
do anything.
it's a free interrupt. If someone charges you with 2 things and one of them doesn't kill you, he immediately fights rather than waiting for his turn. He can also just like drop a double heavy flamer on them or something.
Yeah, it doesn't let you fight on death because you're dead. Unfortunately.
Yeah, it does let him fight in the shooting phase if someone bolt pistols you in melee.
which I assume they will never do.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
All right. Well, that was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was funny, and I'm glad that doesn't need to exist. All right, well, I think we've spent enough on the Death Company Dreadnought. As funny as that guy is, I'm so sorry, Jack. Let's hit the Death Company Intercessors.
I'm so sad, because now I need to re-record a video.
Good.
Death Company Intercessors. All right.
Same Black Rage.
Same Black Rage. We'll get to that. Yes. So, same Black Rage. He rerolls hits, and they cannot fall back and have an OC of 0 if they're not within 12 of chaplains. This is why you need chaplains. And then, once per turn, you can target this unit with Fire, Overwatch, or Heroic Intervention for 0 CP.
Okay. So, it's basically an intercessor. Because, like, stats-wise, this looks like an intercessor.
Yes.
Like
it's an intercessor that rerolls hits.
Yeah, so it's worse OC, doesn't sticky objectives, rerolls hits, might get a free strat every once in a while.
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to that at all. Oh, Feeling Pain 6 up as well. So, like, if that's roughly the same cost as an intercessor, that's, like, a very interesting alternative. If it's significantly more, no. But, like, that seems like a good... Like, if that's the same cost as an intercessor, I just take that.
Yeah. No, it's pretty good.
Jack is just staring at the screen thinking of the Death Company Dreadnought.
I still am, honestly.
Yeah.
Damn. It was so funny. But yes, looking at this, the problem is I think you take the other Death Company stuff first.
Yeah.
And if your army is made entirely of Death Company and they kill your chaplain, life gets incredibly unfun.
It's big funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're good. I think they're overshadowed by the other Death Company stuff.
Mm-hmm. All right, still, that seems like a solid intercessor replacement if the points are roughly comparable.
Yeah, rerolling hits is just good.
We are still on the Ds. All right, Death Company Marines.
All right, so Death Company, this unit is probably... So the Death Company on foot probably have the biggest glow up.
Yeah, just walking
Possible.
Death Company, which is funny because I didn't know that they came with backpacks in the kit.
They do.
But
yeah.
I do have like 15 of those backpacks in my bits box because I've never built a Death Company on foot.
Why would you? Well, now you will.
Now you will.
Not only are they a separate datasheet from Death Company Marines with a jump pack.
So rule of 3.
Rule of 3.
Okay.
Exactly. So they also have Black Rage, which is great. Rerolling hits just as a thing is gross. But they also have a rule, which says each time a model in this unit makes an attack, the attack has the sustained hits 1 ability if it's below starting, or sustained hits 2 if it's below half.
And that is make an attack, so that is not limited to melee.
It is not, in fact. Your Inferno pistols, your bolt guns, get sustained hits 1, sustained hits 2.
I really don't need an Inferno pistol with sustained hits 2.
But don't worry, they also reroll the hit and shooting as well.
Fastest Overwatch in the West. Just imagining the last 2 Death Company Marines like, I'm an Overwatch. You have 2 shots. But if I roll a 6...
So, yeah, I mean, that's just an incredible combo of rules. But you want to know what else combos? The fact that if they fight on death, you fight model by model. Mm-hmm. So the first model that gets pulled fights normally. The second 2, if you take a 5-man, the second 2 reroll their hits and have sustained hits 1. And the back half of the squad gets sustained hits 2 along with rerolls.
Yeah, if you fight each model 1 at a time.
That is true.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So, and it looks like they get access to chain swords.
Any number of models can take a Thunderhammer or can replace their bolt pistol with, let's be honest, an Inferno pistol and replace their chain sword with, let's be honest, a Power Fist.
You don't want to overcharge your plasma just so you get sustained hits?
That is very funny. Yeah, I really like this unit because all 5 models can get Inferno pistols, all 5 models can get Power Fists.
Yeah, or you could go hammers and like no guns, but like hammers.
I think having AP4 shooting is also something that doesn't exist too much.
Yeah.
So,
the Inferno pistols are 6-inch, right? Still,
6-inch range.
Still good.
But they reroll hits on them.
Yeah, so we'll have to see how much the Inferno pistols and everything costs, but they have a lot of good options, and one can only assume that the walking guys will cost less than the jump pack guys. If not, lol.
One would assume. They also have Feel No Pain 6+.
Useful. Just
very useful. But when they fight, they hit really, really hard, right? Power Fists are 4 attacks apiece, re-rolling to hit natively at 822, 922 if you're on the charge. That unit hits ludicrously hard.
The Power Fist is 3 attacks, so it goes to 4 with the blood and stuff.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
And then if they fight on death, they get exploding hits down the stretch. And also, if you swing on this unit and don't kill it, well, bang.
Yeah, they hit harder.
Yeah, they hit harder.
Yeah, this seems generically just good.
Big fan of that.
All right, so the Death Company data sheets, they've saved the most popular for last.
Yes. So these guys don't hit quite as hard because they don't get sustained hits when they fight on death. And yeah, the sustained hits when you fight on death is so good. Death Company Marines with jump packs. Their special rule instead of sustained hits is they reroll charge rolls. I'm not against
useful.
that. That is quite good. They
I feel like... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No.
I was going to say, I feel like reroll charges is one of those rules that we always look at and like, oh, every once in a while you save a CP and that's good. Honestly, with some of the rules that we've seen so far, like we've seen like that there's one mission where the CP reroll costs 2 CP. We've seen that several armies, like we've already seen it in Tyranids, can look at your stratagem and say that's going to cost more.
And there's no exception.
And I didn't see an exception to the CP reroll. There is a very real point in the game where if you get a little bit unlucky, you like roll a snake eye on a 4-inch charge, and like, I'm going to CP roll that, and your opponent's like, that's going to be 3 CP. Are you sure? And you're like, oh god.
Yeah, or you just run out because you need to maintain fight on death on your opponent's turn or something like that.
You just don't have 2 or 3 CP at a time, or you just have to break one because there's a couple of CP in the game.
I will say, when I played Orcs, natively rerolling charges across the whole army was great.
Yeah.
Same thing for Black Templars. Just natively back when that's what they did. Natively rerolling charges across the whole army is just legitimately good. And having it on some units, especially your hammer units who are going to go far and charge, it's amazing. And then they also have Inferno Pistols, reroll hits with those Inferno Pistols, Power Fists, reroll hits with those Power Fists.
Yeah, so like reroll charges, not flashy, still good.
Yep.
Still pretty nice.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, love these guys. These guys, Death Company and Death Company jump packs, Death Company on foot, very, very good. Very good. And yeah, they make good point in chat. I want to use my CP on Red Rampage and Overwatch and other stuff too. Fight on Death especially. Don't want to have to use it to reroll a charge.
Fully agreed.
Go.
All right.
And they also any number of models. So
same warrior.
Yeah, but they didn't do the take only what's in the kit. Like 1 per 5 gets a power weapon, 1 per 5 gets a whatever. Thank you for that.
There has been no consistency on which units are and are not sad about that. And it is a little weird.
And Death Company just aren't sad.
All right.
You have to do a little conversion work, but such is the price you pay.
But the Furioso.
The Furioso does not have a rule that does very little. That looks like it does very much. But when it's selected a fight, you select an enemy unit and you roll a die, adding 2 if you made a charge move. 4 or 5, they take D3, so that'd be a 2 up. And on a 6+, they take 3. That'd be a 2 up on the charge or a 4 up on the charge.
So interestingly, it's charge mortals when you're selected to fight, not in the charge phase. But that's fine because we haven't seen a phase cap yet. That's still just
you
nice.
You get to do this even if you are charged.
Yeah, so okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Oh, sorry, yes, Matto, $5 super chat. It has been 0 days since the unit has been given full rerolls in Warhammer 40k 10th edition. That was a running joke between me and Quentin on the Space Marine stream.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're gonna get back to it. Sorry, let me flip that a couple times for all the Death Company stuff that showed up. All right, sweet. This also has a Magna Grapple.
Okay.
Oh, I'm also very happy Death Company didn't just get like heirloom weapons.
I didn't want to say it, but yeah.
822, much better than 511.
We've got a Spatial video later today, so it's
Oh.
I'm sorry. You didn't deserve that.
I picked the right chapter, I'll tell you that.
Okay, so heavy frag cannon?
Heavy frag cannon, quite good. Rapid fire D6, so it's 2d6 blast inside 9 at 712. That's pretty good. And then it does have plus 2 charge rolls, which you can take the Twin Furioso Fists, which hit exactly the same, except you don't have real hits, so it's a little less good in combat. Presumably this thing would be cheaper because it only moves 6. And
yeah, this does bluntly look like it is a much worse Death Company Dreadnought.
Yes.
But if it is a cheaper Death Company Dreadnought, that's okay.
That is fine, yeah.
All right.
Rerolling hits is it's just a hell of a drug. Yeah, it's well worth doing.
Gabriel Seth.
Gabriel Seth is very
Seth
cool.
is the reason I like Blood Angels, because I actually just like Flesh Tears, not Blood Angels.
Hipster.
Yeah.
All right. So, Gabriel Seth, he hits hard. He does not hit as hard as he used to.
But it's still a very
But he still hits very hard. 6 attacks, goes to 7, strength 9 with sustained hits 1. His unit can advance and charge. He has a bolt pistol, it's cool. And then whenever he fights, +1 to the attacks characteristic of his melee weapon for every 5 every 5 models within 6 inches.
So he just gives his unit advance and charge, and he also just chops.
Yes, he chops.
And I'm okay with that.
Hard.
5 models within 6 inches is a lot.
A lot easier. That's where I consider 6 inches is a lot. Trust me. But that is one where I just am going to assume that it's +1. And then occasionally get it to +2.
Yeah, that's almost always going to be +1.
Let me see what can join Death Company, by the way. If it has If a chaplain model with the leader ability can be attached to assault squad, jump packs can be attached to this unit.
So presumably they all have that for chaplains.
Yes.
All right. So Gabriel Seth, though. Who can Gabriel Seth party with?
Vanguard vets on foot, which is probably what you're going to do. Yeah. Assault squad, command squad, or tactical squad. Okay. Now, the thing is, if you take him, you can't take any Blood Angels epic heroes.
That is not zero downside.
Yes. Any others. Otherwise, it'd be pretty funny.
But he's pretty good. And you can still take the not epic hero. So you can still take Sangard or Death Company.
Yes.
As you'd expect.
Yes.
All right.
But yeah, if you're coming out of a Rhino, you move 6, you get 3 out. 9. So you get 9 plus an advance plus a charge.
Funny enough, he's actually quite good in a command squad because they're +1 advance and charge with the champion.
Yeah, the one problem with him in Van Vets is I believe Van Vets on foot have a 6-inch scout move, which he would take away from them. Yeah, it's real sad.
You're not wrong. I'm just mad about it.
Yeah, me too, buddy.
All
me too.
All right, hit me with the next one.
I think that's you put him in an assault squad on foot. Because they can get, they can amp him up as well. Because they get, a 1 of 3 abilities, I believe, when they fight.
I think so, yeah. I could see that or a command squad, just because the command squad is, fast. Yeah. As long as you take enough, melee weapons there to justify the cost.
Well, the problem with the command squad is you get 2 models with melee weapons in that unit.
Well, and the champion.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I could see it, depending on the cost.
Yeah.
Lamarties! Love this guy. Took him to LVO. He was great for scoring secondaries, great for hitting. Well, he's still great on hitting, for sure.
622, I like it.
622, goes lethal to 6 hits. Attacks at 722. He gives his unit lethal hits, melee weapons.
Strong.
Yes. You'll be surprised what he can join. It's Death Company with jump packs.
Okay, yeah. The math checks out.
He has Feel No Pain 6+. His unit gives him reroll hits. Oh, yeah. Oh, you saw the rule? You saw the rule that I was getting to? Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So his unit will give him reroll hits, which is dope. Because they buff each other.
It'll also give him OC0 if he's not with the 12 of Chaplain.
Well, if he's not within 12 of a Chaplain, he done messed up. Because he is a Chaplain. Yes, when he's leading a unit, that unit has -1 damage. Mm-hmm. So, love that. Currently not capped, as Raymond points out. We'll get to the super chat in a second. But I assume that it will be, because that would be broken. I assume it's going to be capped at 1, like it was in 9th edition. Yeah. But even with that being the case, there's a lot of damage 2 in the meta, and making it, or a lot of damage 2 in the game, I would say. Because it seems like a lot of Power Fists got toned down to damage, or Power Fists are damage 2. Thunderhammers got toned down to damage 2. A lot of the Flamestorm cannons are damage 2, things like that. And if you just make it damage 1 instead, and then you have a 6-0 Feel No Pain, suddenly that unit is a lot more difficult to kill, especially if it's in cover with Armor of Contempt. Mm-hmm. Suddenly you might just be able to live there.
Yeah. So Lamarta is giving lethal hits on a unit that rerolls hits.
It's pretty good.
That's really good.
Yes. No, that is very good.
And then -1 damage.
Yes.
I don't know how much Lamarta's will cost. He doesn't let's be honest here. He's a 4 wound Space Marine character. He's probably not going to be a 200 point dude. No. I don't know how much he's going to cost, but if he's cheap, that is really good rules.
I would be shocked
if he's mid-cost. That's still really good.
I would be shocked if he were more than mid-cost given his stat line.
Yeah, he's just a 4 wound Space Marine. They can't make him, 175, 200 points, but his rules.
Lamarte's slams.
Yeah, the named characters in Blood Angels, just top to bottom, have impressed me incredibly.
Oh well, wait till you get to Tycho the Lost.
I'm sure there's more. Okay.
Yeah, but so before, now I will say the thing that I'm looking the most at with Blood Angels is more of an MSU approach. Okay. Because I think that MSU is something that, by the way, there's also Lead 5+. I get wrecked, golly. Something that I've been that I've seen with the indexes coming out so far, and what they've shown is that it looks like units really want characters to make them good. Yeah, and when you include a character for a unit, you're naturally inclined to make that unit large.
Yeah, you want 5 intercessors. Okay, well, they're better if I have a lieutenant. Mm-hmm. Oh, if I bought a lieutenant, why not take 10 intercessors so I get more buff if I have a lieutenant?
And also so you can use your strats better.
Exactly.
What that means is likely there's going to be a lot more large units running around. That's my top line take on it. And that means that because Death Company don't need to be buffed to be good, because they just reroll hits natively, I'm really looking to just spam small units out, and they don't necessarily want Lamartes.
That's probably going to be good.
But You can just spam small units out and then take one 10-man with
I
Lamartis.
was
Let's
gonna
go.
say, like, I can still do a hammer. If
Yes.
they're that good, I can do a hammer.
Absolutely. Rayman with a $5 super chat. -1 damage in the core rules isn't capped. That's a mistake, right? Death Company plus Lamartis is basically immune to 80% of the shooting in the game. I assume it's a mistake because they accidentally did that a couple times in 9th too, and it wasn't on purpose.
I'll put it this way. Rules as written, sure. But this is the same thing we had with Celestine. Same thing we had with Paragon Wars. We've had this over and over and over again. Our plan on the channel is that until we see a direct statement from Games Workshop, whenever we get to playing games, stream games for you all, we don't know when that'll be, but as soon as we do, as soon as we have enough to put a game on, we're going to assume that you round damage up to a multiple of 1, and that you do it to a minimum of 1, unless it's like a old Helix Gauntlet, make it damage 0.
Yes.
Like if the rule doesn't say damage 0 in bold, I'm just going to assume it's not damage 0.
Yes. Now,
And I'm not counting half points.
I will say, if that is how it's supposed to work, which I highly doubt. Highly doubt that's how it's supposed to work. Then Lamartis becomes even more of an insane character.
If it works that way, then your army will be better, not worse.
All right. Looking forward to it.
All right.
And he also moves 12, and he also hits like a truck, so, there's all that.
Hit us with the next one. A quick note I'll just say for the chat. There is a Death Watch video coming later today. We're planning to do all of the chapters that were released on Warhammer Community. We're going to do them one at a time in separate videos, but they're all coming today. So stay tuned. Hang out with us all day. Put us on in the background of work or while you paint. We've got a lot to talk about. Libby Dread, hit me.
Libby Dread. They actually made this thing good. It used to kind of be a joke. But yeah, no, this thing's actually quite tasty. So it moves 6, unfortunately. Toughness 9 is good. Save 2+, and 8 wounds. You do have to kind of keep this thing a little safe. It can shoot a really hefty Blood Lance, 18-inch range, but sustained hits D3 at strength 12, AP 3, damage D6 plus 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you roll that 6,
Wow.
the vehicle disappears. Wow. Bye-bye. Sorry. Don't even know you. You're gone. Yeah. Its other shooting is a bit, mid, but it gets 1 heavy flamer or 1 melt-a-gun or something.
That's a gun.
But the Blood Lance is like, oh, look at that, you're dead. Oh, whoopsie daisy. Pew! And in combat, it does have, 5 attacks with the fist, a very good profile, and 1 attack with, 5 goes to 6 on the charge, and then 1 attack with strength, 9 goes to 10, AP 3, damage D6 plus 3. Okay. And because it's extra attacks, it stays at 1 attack.
Got it. So just 1 quick stab with that, and then +1, and then maybe 6 with the fist.
Yep. And the Force Halberd hits. It's D6 plus 3 damage.
That is a very, very just solid profile.
Yeah, well, let's get into its abilities, because both of them are nuts. While friendly Adeptus Astartes units within 6 inches of this models in that unit have a feel no pain 5+ against mortal wounds and psychic attacks.
See, it's the mortal wounds part of that really has me excited.
Yes.
That is very good.
Yes,
That is very
yes, it is.
good.
Yes, it is.
Wow.
Wings of Sanguinius, though, might even be better.
I don't think it's better, but it is also very good.
Don't roll a 1, but if you don't roll a 1, you pick a friendly Adeptus Astartes infantry unit within 12, and you just re-deep strike it on the board.
That is, honestly, the first thing that you probably think of is like, ooh, I can just charge people. Also, play the mission. A Librarian Dreadnought is very good.
Yeah, very good. And he can advance and do that. And it's at the end of your movement phase, so you can advance to get a unit nearby to teleport them across the board.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed by the Librarian Dreadnought.
Librarian Dreadnought, 0 to hero, man. He used to be straight garbage, and now he is... he's got 2 rules that I really want in my army.
Yeah, those... I don't... Again, we don't know points yet. But, I would pay a very reasonable amount of points to have that guy in my army.
Absolutely.
I'd be willing to pay for him.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, he is shootable.
Sure.
So
he's also a short king.
You have to be careful, but he is a tiny king.
Yeah, you have to hide Pharaoh's Ironfather behind a wall. It's fine. What? I mean, he's shorter, so it's easier to hide than Pharaoh's Ironfather.
I get the joke is that he's smaller than the Chad father, but that actually works out in his favor in this case.
Exactly.
All right. Yeah, quite impressed. All right, my favorite unit of 9th edition, my favorite unit in the game, Sanguinary Guard. And they have some rules to match, my dude. So in combat, they are a blade guard. Which is great on a 12-inch moving
that
platform.
is a compliment.
That is a compliment. They're a blade guard with 4 attacks apiece, goes to 5, with strength 6, AP 2, damage 2, and you can throw a power fist in there. I'm not 100% on whether -1 attack is worth +3 strength on one model.
It could be 1 per 5.
It's 1 per 5. It doesn't actually get you to the point where you crack vehicles because it gets you to strength 9. So I'm a little unsure. But either way, the Sanguinary Guard crack. Mm-hmm. I'm just debating which one of those is better.
Yeah, you're not really sad either way. These are good rules.
Yeah.
Still -1 to hit in melee.
Still -1 to hit in melee.
Okay,
they kept it. Very scary masks. You don't want to mess with those masks.
And
when a warlord is leading the unit, -1 to wound. In melee. In melee.
Now, they do still have a Sanguinary banner, for those of you wondering where the Sanguinary Ancient went.
Yes, one dude in the unit carries the banner and doesn't lose anything for doing so. You see that empty hand right there? Yeah, that's just holding the banner. No weapons
Cool, so there's
lost.
no downside, just take it.
Just take the banner. You're OC2 unless you lose that dude, yeah.
Great.
Yeah, love that guy. The bolt gun, you can just take Inferno pistols on everybody, so yeah, probably will. Yeah, any number of models can have an Inferno pistol over their Angelus bolt gun. Every 5 models, an Incarmine blade can be replaced with a Power Fist. 1 model can have a Sanguinary banner. And yes, a captain can join the unit. If they can join Assault Squad jump pack, so a captain with a jump pack can attach to this unit, as well as Dante.
Okay, cool. So you can take a captain or Dante.
You can.
Still very, very respectably good.
Yes, this unit is a flying Blade Guard unit with a 2-up save and Armor of Contempt.
Yep. Less wounds than a Blade Guard, but
But -1 to hit, -1 to wound in melee.
Yeah, that's good.
Yes.
That's very good.
Yes. And so, yeah, big fan of Sanguinary Guard.
Okay.
Big fan. I mean, we'll have to see the points cost, but very fun. Now, the thing I will note is they're probably not spammable. I would assume you only take 1 unit.
Yeah, the Warlord buff is significant there, and they're probably costed like their -1 to wound. It's going to be the Tau thing. You know?
Yeah, you're costed like your -1 to wound, so if you take a Warlord in there, great unit. Yep. But if you don't,
not great unit.
Probably less
Still,
good.
that is very good.
They hit very hard and they fly fast, so like...
And it's a bear in melee.
Potentially a meta where you just take 3 units of 5 or something, and you just go, yeah, I'm only -1 to wound on one of these, but, you know, you're dead, then you hit me, I die, I fight on death, you're dead too.
Yeah, and a good point from the chat that the captain's jump pack could make the fist strength 10.
Oh, that's true, because the captain does give them plus strength.
I would like that.
Well, it just makes their regular attack strength 7 too, which is
also a
super
thing I would
dope.
like.
Super dope.
Okay, so Sanguinary Guard seem like they're quite solid.
Dante gives them +1 to hit, by the way, on their Inferno pistols as well.
Oh, why would he do that? Okay, all right.
And +1 to charge.
Well, after the Sanguinary Guard, surely comes...
the Sanguinary Priest.
There we go. Oh, he's got a chainsword.
He does have a chainsword.
It's an Astartes chainsword.
It is.
Good for him.
Can't swap it out with Teeth of Terra, sadly.
Does he have a jump pack?
There's a separate profile for that. You can take 6 Sanguinary Priests.
Why is there still that?
Don't know. Do not know. Right. But what I will say is that he has a great buff for his unit. He gives his unit an additional AP and Feel No Pain 5+. Yeah. He
gnarly
buffs.
Okay, and whomst does he hang out with?
Vanguard vets. I know it says other stuff.
Slows them down. Because he doesn't scout.
He doesn't scout.
God.
Luckily, the Vanguard vets in jump pack get a Sanguinary Priest in jump pack.
Yeah,
and then
that's
we're all Gucci. The Sanguinor. This guy is probably the best character in the book, I think, for my money.
Boy, howdy, is that a fight first lone operative I see?
Sure is, if only he had a melee manipulation effect. The Sanguinor, I think, is the best character in this book.
Okay.
And that is saying a lot, considering we've been over Lamarty.
We've been over quite a few.
Dante. We haven't gotten to Tycho the Lost, who is real good. We're going to get to him in a second.
There's some beaters in here.
Yes. So he moves 12. He's toughness 4 with 7 wounds and a 2-up. So
2-up, 4-up, okay.
2-up, 4-up. He's not easy to put away.
Very respectable.
Very respectable. He fights first, and he has lone operative. So he hangs out by himself, and he fights first. So you charge him, boom, he hits you first.
Oh, he has an Incarmine Broadsword.
He always had an Incarmine Broadsword.
Oh,
yeah. So the Incarmine Broadsword has devastating wounds, 9 attacks on the charge at strength 7, AP 3, damage 2. Like, he slams in
that is
combat.
a very good character.
Yeah, he will peel a character out of a unit almost every time. And he will kill a lot of regular units, just wholesale.
Okay.
He fights first, he is lone operative, and he's a 6-inch aura of rerolling battle shock and leadership, which is
nice.
Quite frankly amazing.
So that's really good once he's on the table. Which is funny because he's not always on the table.
He's going to start in reserves a lot of the time.
Sometimes.
Once per battle at the end of your opponent's charge phase, if he's still in reserves, you pick an enemy unit that made a charge move, and you put this guy within engagement range of that unit.
Just anywhere in engagement range?
Anywhere you want.
Anywhere in engagement range.
Anywhere you want.
Fascinating. And would he...
He fights first, yeah.
He would fight first.
He would, in fact, fight first.
He would fight first.
So let's say there's a character that's really annoying you in a unit.
Theoretically.
They charge you. You appear next to him, spend 1 CP, gank the character.
On a heroic challenge?
Yeah.
You think the Sanguinor could challenge a character with that?
I'm pretty sure the Sanguinor can just bonk a character with that.
Huh. Well, now, I'll warn you that if you want precision, you're going to need line of sight to that character.
Easy. Bink, I'm there. I'm right next to you.
You really think you can fit your 25mm base somewhere?
Yeah, I'm going to model that guy with a larger base so I can properly model, like, Sanguinius or something as this guy instead. But yes, you can, in fact, hello there, and just show up, 1 CP, your character's gone. What's
Boy, howdy, I hope this guy's not free. Like, he needs... That is good.
I'm taking this guy, I don't care. Like, he's so cool.
Yeah, like, they gotta put a points cost on him.
He can also fall back and charge for 1 CP, which he used to be able to fall back and charge straight up by Blade Guard with a Judiciary in them. You show up, Judiciary's dead. Now the unit doesn't fight first, you kill it on your turn.
Don't love that.
Woo! Yeah, this guy is going to show up on the table basically every single time I play Blood Angels, and possibly every single time I play 40k.
Personal, kid. Wow.
I love this guy. This guy's the coolest. And then when he's on the board, he's also just a jerk. Like, he's just a jerk.
Yeah, he's a very solid character when he's on the table.
Yeah.
And lone operative is also a very valuable rule.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And then he just shows up and rescues you.
Up close and personal and hit him, is what I heard.
That's... You better.
Tycho the Lost. You've been hyping this guy up a little bit. I'm kind of expecting him to do something.
Yes. So, he still has Blood Song, which hits hilariously hard. He has a basic stat line. His unit advances and charges.
Okay. So you could join him, I'm assuming, to Death Company on foot?
Death Company and Marines on foot. You can just join him to them, advance, and charge. And now if your opponent wants to fight you back...
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be so rough when you fight on Deathman. And then he rerolls hits natively. If he is destroyed, you can roll d6, adding 2 to the result if the attacking unit contains the enemy warlord. On a 2 to a 3, they take 3 mortals. On a 4 to a 5, they take d3 plus 3.
So a 2 plus if warlord.
Yes. And on a 6 plus, they take d6 plus 3 mortals.
So 4 plus if.
Yes.
That's if he's destroyed.
If he is destroyed. If he's destroyed, he blats you.
Yeah. And again, this is a 4-wound captain, so he's probably not terribly expensive.
Yes.
This is a 4-wound dude on foot. GW loves to make that like 70 points or something. I have no idea what he's going to cost, but like...
No idea. But 4-wound dude on foot is probably not too expensive. He gives his unit advance and charge. When you kill him, blam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Love this guy. This guy's great. I will have to see his points cost because he's a buff piece. But he's a buff piece with mortal wounds stapled onto it and a pretty decent combat.
Yeah. Doesn't go to 12 attacks, though.
Does not go to 12 attacks.
So sorry.
But he does blat you with mortal wounds. He's 7 attacks with strength 5 on the charge, so it's significantly better than that profile actually.
Yeah, that is quite respectable still. Okay. Tycho the Lost. Who would have guessed?
And he joins Death Company, which is what you want him to join.
Cool. Hold on. Did they break alphabetical for this?
Yes.
God. All right. Sanguinary Priest with jump pack.
It is identical to a Sanguinary Priest on foot. He just joins assault squads and Vanguard vets.
Cool. Only a chainsword?
Only a chainsword.
So
literally identical.
You just take the model and just add a jump pack to it, even though that's not a thing?
Yeah. Cool. 5 up Feel No Pain and improves AP by 1.
Good for them.
Which is a great buff. It's, in fact, probably the only way I'd want to run Van Vets.
Yeah, because so it's +1. Read me the buff one more time.
+1 AP and 5 up Feel No Pain.
I would actually like that on regular Assault Marines.
Yeah.
I like regular Assault Marines, like low-key.
Well, so the thing is a 10-man assault squad charges and does an average of 5 mortals.
Exactly.
Then hits you.
Yeah, and they have chain swords, which I think are AP 1, so then they go to...
Strength 5 with 5 attacks.
Yeah.
And then AP 2.
Yeah. And I'm just assuming that an assault squad will be cheaper than a Van Vet squad, but like an assault squad is very respectable.
Yep. And he can join a squad even if a captain, chapter master, or lieutenant has already been attached.
Ooh.
So you can join a captain with a jump pack to him, And you get, +1 strength again, so they're strength 6, and then you get a free stratagem, so you can fight on death for free, and...
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Good for him.
That
all
is...
Right. Is that it?
That's it. That's all Blood Angels.
Okay, well that is a good amount of stuff.
Oh man, I'm just going to end on the Sanguinor.
Yeah, so their named characters are incredibly impressive.
Yes.
Honestly, their data sheets all seem amazing.
Yeah, Death
Their
Company...
rules are good.
Death Company on foot, Death Company and jump packs are bananas.
Yeah.
We'll have to see points cost.
Really good.
Sanguinary Guard, very good. Probably just take one, but that's what Sanguinary Guard should do. They're guarding your duder.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm okay with 1 unit of Sangard in every army.
The Sanguinor is actually insane.
Yeah, he is great.
He is very, very good. Dante's good. Mephiston's good. Lamarte's is really, really good. Tycho's good.
You have 6 named characters that I looked at. I was like, I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of how it was before.
I think you literally have 7 named characters who are better than, Khan.
Khan's pretty good. He just joined nothing.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, basically that's where Blood Angels were in the previous edition, was Death Company and Sanguinary Guard are very good, and they have a million named characters that are all good.
Wow. Yeah, okay. This seems like it's very strong.
I'm big fan. I'm going to be putting this
Blood
on
Angels.
the table.
The Blood Angels are back.
So I'm very excited.
All right. Well, I think that's about everything for Blood Angels.
Yep.
Closing thought. I know Blood Angels are your number 1 chapter, so we're getting a little bit of bias here, but you know what? I want that.
Yeah. Oh, you're getting them. Mm-hmm. Yes. Dante, appropriately, member for 12 months. Glad to have you here. Can you take chapter-specific stuff but keep the doctrines? No.
Depends on what he means by stuff.
Oh, units?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Chapter-specific rules? No.
Yeah, so the way that it'll work, and this will be relevant for all of our future reviews, is in the Space Marine Index, you can take any one chapter you want for your data sheets. And then if you decide to take, and that's if you take a Gladius, I can choose to only get Blood Angels, only get Death Watch, only get Ultramarines, only get Salamanders.
In addition to all the generic units as well.
In addition to generic units, no matter which way you slice it. And then, of course, if you want to take if you actually want to just scroll up just to show them, the Blood Angel detachment, the Bloodblade, the Bloodblade.
The Sons of Sanguinius?
Yeah. So restrictions, you can only include Blood Angel units, and you cannot include it from any other chapter.
Yes.
So you can include Blood Angel units, but you can't include any other chapter. So if you take your Space Marine army and choose this, you now may take Blood Angel units, but there's nothing that stops you from taking Blood Angel units in Gladius.
Right. If you take Gladius, I think Gladius is going to be a very viable way to play him.
Yeah.
For sure. But I actually think let me preface this. Not all Space Marine detachments are created equal. Some of them, decent number of them, are not as good as the Gladius.
The Gladius is a great starting point.
Yes, the Gladius is an amazing starting point. But I think for, if you want to use a lot of the Blood Angel data sheets, I think you want to use the Sons of Sanguinius.
Yeah, you could take Red Ultramarines if you want and just shove some Death Company in there and be like, this is a good list.
And it is a good list.
Yeah, it still would be good.
Yes.
But if you want to get the maximum juice, you really got to squeeze it.
Yeah.
You got to take the Sons of Sanguinius.
You just hit a level harder on all your units that is enough that I'm willing to give up once a game advance in charge if I get to hit that hard.
Yeah, and that is a level of hard.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Well, I believe that our next video is going to be going up in about 20 minutes. It'll be live. We'll be there. And I seem to recall that it's Dark Angels next. Is that right?
It sounds right.
Yep, I think we're doing Dark Angels next. So thank you so much, everyone who watched this, who hung out with us live. We really appreciate you. I'll be back in a couple of short minutes to talk about Dark Angels. The First Legion may have come second today, but they're first in my heart. And I'm really excited about all the new rules that we have for Dark Angels. We're going to be doing this all day. Today is a day where I just get paid to sit in front of a camera and talk about Space Marines. Life is good, everyone.
It's pretty great.
So happy Index Day to all of you Codex Deviants.
That's right. And if you want to delve deep into these rules with people who are as big a fan of the different indexes as you are, you should check out the War Room. That's down in the link below, thewarroom.vhx.tv. We have a 3-day free trial. You can try it out. Go. I'm sure that Discord is currently booming right now with people talking about these rules about Blood Angels, Death Watch, Dark Angels, Black Templars, and Furries.
Yeah. I've basically been in Discord talking until we went live today.
Yes.
Like, woke up 6:45, there was a new Death Leaper model, started talking Tyranids. At a certain point, someone tags me, and I'm like, oh, sweet, new Space Marine rules. Just more and more and more. There's a lot going on in the Discord. So now's a good time, maybe even the best time, to check out that free trial and try out the worm.
Yep. I'm going to be hopping in that Blood Angel chat when we're all done with these videos, for sure. All right. I think that's it for today.
All right.
It's been great, and we'll be right back. Bye-bye.
Bye.